Welcome to another exciting episode of the Neville Goddard podcast. My name is Mr. 2020. Today we are going to end money struggles with Neville's answer. Neville's answer is so good, and we're going to dive deep into it. We're going to have fun with it, and we're going to change your life today. Let's dive in, and thank you for listening to, and sharing, and commenting about, and just enjoying the Neville Goddard podcast. And so Neville's answer was, creation is finished. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The parable of the prodigal son is your answer. In spite of man's waste, when he comes to his senses and remembers who he is, he feeds on the fatted calf of abundance and wears the robe and ring of authority. There is nothing to earn. This is so good, especially when you know what the question is. Are you ready? The question is going to blow your mind. Somebody asked Neville Goddard, isn't there a law that says you cannot get something for nothing? Must we not earn what we desire? You get that's an argument. That's not a question. Isn't there a law that says we cannot get something for nothing? Must we not earn what we desire? We all have that voice in our head. Even if you don't notice it, there's a possibility that it could show up at any time. And that's not something to be afraid of. That's something to have a giggle about. Because when you stop and drop the war, when you get creation is finished, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you. Now let's dive deep into this. By the way, this is from the Neville Goddard Prosperity Pack. There's a massive book inside of that we put together, my lessons and Neville's lectures, and there's recordings. It's good shit. It's $47. Crass commercial over. Ready? Because this comes right from the core of it. In spite of man's waste, when he comes to his senses and remembers who he is, when you come to your senses and remember who you are, this is what happens. You feed on the fatted calf of abundance. Do you want an abundant life or not? If you want an abundant life, you get to stop denying who you are. You get to stop blaming brainwave recordings and candles and rocks in the sky and sacred numbers. There's only one cause. And you get to remember who you are. Now notice how this continues, because this seems to be an afterthought. When you come to your senses, you feed on the fatted calf of abundance, and you wear the robe and ring of authority. There is nothing to earn. Now here's the cool thing. In Remarkable this year, we're exploring the four mighty ones. And one of the ways that Neville likens them is to the producer, the author, the director, and the actor of a play. Your life is a stage play. It's a production. You get to write the last scene, you get to stay targeted, and you get to fully enact it until you become it. You don't pretend to be it, you enact it. This is all imaginal. In spite of man's waste, as long as you think you have to earn something, as long as you feel you have to make something happen, it's a waste. When he comes to his senses and remembers who he is, he feeds on the fatted calf of abundance. He doesn't seek the fatted calf. He doesn't go trying to get the best deal. He doesn't worry about is it free or not. He feeds on the fatted calf of abundance and wears the robe and ring of authority. You see, you're the authority in your life. You're the author. A lot of people, they believe they're suck stories to the point where they believe the suck story is what's real. You are what's real. And you get to discover how real you are by giving real life to your real desires. Creation is finished. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. All you have to do is return home. Now, where's home? There's a couple different ways we can dive into that. One of the things that Neville says about home is the dwelling place that you return to most commonly. The state that you return to most commonly is your dwelling place. In your dwelling place, do you feel the robe and ring of authority? There's this thing called ownership. And here's a mistake that a lot of people make. They go into, I'm going to detach from my desire. And that is not what Neville talked about. Neville talked about you detach from your old reactions to life by attaching yourself to what you have chosen, to the state of your wish fulfilled. Because creation is finished. When man comes to his senses and remembers who he is, he feeds on the fatted calf of abundance and wears the robe and ring of authority. That's what I want for you today. If you got gold, if you love what we do, if you want to support the project, if you want to invest in you, today I invite you to go to Neville Goddard Prosperity Pack. Now here's the thing, when you get it, there's recordings, there's a PDF. Get the PDF printed. Print it out yourself. Go to your local office store and say, print this for me. Bind it like a book. Stick it in a binder. I want you to scribble notes inside. I want you to make this yours. Because one of the things that we have discovered over the years is the more you play, the more you succeed. And if you take the time to, honest to God, read some of this stuff, dive into the recordings that we share in the pack, really apply this stuff, your entire life will change in ways that you can't possibly figure out. And it'll happen in ways that you can't possibly figure out. Because, as they say, well, Neville, isn't there a law that says you cannot get something for nothing? Must we not earn what we desire? Can you imagine what their life's like? And you know what Neville does? They don't have to earn his answer. He simply gives it to them. He simply gives it to them. They're coming at him. Must we not earn what we desire, Neville? And Neville says, hey, this is the truth about you that sets you free. You get the fatted calf. You wear the robe and ring of authority because your awareness of being is God. If you got gold today, Neville Goddard, ProsperityPack.com. Have a lovely day. I mean it. Have a really lovely day because you get to feed on the fatted calf. And you get to wear the robe and the ring of authority. Have a lovely day. See ya. Dive deeper, soar higher. Thanks for listening. Have an amazing day. See ya.